I'm going to go over exporting files out of ProjectWise. For those times when we have to shut down ProjectWise for maintenance or other activities, and we've let you know ahead of time, so you have the ability to go into ProjectWise and export out files and folders for use while ProjectWise is down. ProjectWise will lock these files while they're out so nobody can change them, and you will be allowed to import them back into ProjectWise with your changes when ProjectWise is back up. So we're going to take you through that procedure first with some files, and then we'll do a folder. As you can see, I've got ProjectWise up here, and I'm going to use standard selection techniques to select some files. And I'm going to right-click and click Export. Now you got two options on this export dialog. You're going to want to make sure you pick the export locked files and changes can be re-imported. And it's going to do exactly that. It's going to lock the file once you've exported it. You can re-import it when ProjectWise is back up and bring it back into ProjectWise with the changes that you've made while you're working with it outside of ProjectWise. This option down here creates an unmanaged copy, which means ProjectWise, basically it's just copying it out and has no ties to it, so you're just pulling out a copy. So you want to pick this very first one. So we're going to hit next. We're going to browse here. I'm going to the desktop. I'm going to head and make a new folder. I'm going to call it Export. Very creative name. And I'm going to hit next, and you can see the files coming out. The export folder has been created over here. Along with your files, if you have a MicroStation file that's got reference files attached to it, it's going to pull those out as well and adjust the relative path to those files so that the reference files will be attached when you work with them outside here. So as you can see, we've got this folder. We've got the files in here that we exported. And if we go back into ProjectWise, and we can just work out with them out of here while ProjectWise is down, you can see that the icon has changed on these. These are exported. The files are locked. Nobody can make a change to them or check them out while you have them exported, which also means it's going to be really important that you remember to re-import them at some point because you're going to have people locked out of them until you do. Now we're going to say ProjectWise is back up, so I'm going to go back and reselect these files. I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to import them back in. So any changes that you've made while it was outside of ProjectWise are now being pulled back in to ProjectWise. And as you can see, the folder's emptied back out again. I'm going to go ahead and delete this folder. Now I'm going to show you how to do the entire folder at once. I'm going to right-click, do the export again. I'm going to select that top option again. Same reasons. We're going to make sure we create the subfolders and create a subfolder for the selected folder. So it's going to create a folder over here. This is going to update those local paths for reference files and links. And hit next. And you can see it's exporting out. It's exporting out a subfolder in there as well. Okay, we are finished. The file's exported. Again, we've got the folder over here. It's named the same as our folder that was inside of ProjectWise. You can see the files are all in here along with the subfolder. You can work with these files just like before. When you're done with them, you can re-import them back in. Now this one gets a little bit tricky because if we go to this folder, you can see there is no import option. It only wants you to import back in the files. You can see that they've got the icon on them that shows they're exported. The quickest way to do this, to go through it and all the subfolders, is just quickly do an advanced search. I'm going to choose the search form. Okay, we got the search form up. I'm going to switch to general. I'm going to go to the status. I'm going to switch it to exported and hit OK. I've got the show results in a new window checked. So it's going to pop up a new window. And let's get rid of that form. And here's all the files that were in there that I exported. It's a quick way to sort of gather up all the files through the subfolders thing. So I'm going to go through here and do a quick selection, and I want to import those back in. Okay, the import is all done. This should be empty. Probably all we got is the folders, which is true. And so now we can go delete this. And the files are all back in. You can see the icons are back to the pencil, which means you can write and check them out and do all those kind of good things. So briefly, that is how you export and import the files outside of ProjectWise for use when ProjectWise is down.